a kind of periodic gentle reminder always helps to put you on track, more or less. One more very peculiar observation which I've seen with my students, and that's what I probably even wanted to share with the Dubai group. You know, many of you have come into this work probably because at some point of time in your life, something was not working, or there was an issue, or there was a problem. You were looking for an answer, you were looking for guidance, you were looking for something to break free. You were looking for an answer beyond the obvious. Because you come into this kind of awareness after your logical fuel has run out. You first try every logical approach in the book to make life work. So you have a problem that's facing you, you have a challenge. You try everything in your logical approach to try and make it work. And when that doesn't happen, then you start looking for beyond the obvious. And that's when, you know, you'll end up looking for solutions, and you go to courses, and you educate yourself, you become wise, so on and so forth. Almost peculiarly, I noticed that with most of the students who came in, not just into the CHII courses, but I see the same pattern even with pranic healing, with Reiki, or with Theta, all the other parallel courses which are in the field of complementary healthcare. The interesting aspect is that though through the courses, the way you thought changed, the way you felt changed, the way you perceived life changed, and maybe you became a much better human, maybe a much more integrated, complete personality. However, the very basic problem which had guided you to come into this work remains. And I've seen that with so many people that it's not funny. That means the original core point which prompted this journey for you, in its own, crazy way, is still a lingering story in your space. It hasn't gone. Everything else has gone. Your anger has dissipated. You can now give 40 metaphysical reasons for a tiny boil on your thumb. Okay? And you become experts in these. Alright? But that original problem with which you started your career is, maybe it's not in the original avatar, not in the original format, not full blown, but it's kind of there. So the objective of this talk is to crack this, because you want to take this to your grave? Obviously not. You spent thousands of dirhams investing to try and get that out. So there's no way you're going to carry this forward. So let's understand, why is this happening, and what is that change of mindset, or what is it that we need to do to be able to crack this plot of the plot. Now for that, I want to start with a very simple line. And the line says that depths of physics cannot be settled in metaphysics. Okay. And then I will take this and explain to you exactly what is happening. Which means energy imbalances that you incur in the physical realm of your existence, you cannot offset them in the metaphysical realm of existence. Because what you create in physics, you will need to settle in physics. Okay? Now, across time and space, let's understand what we are made up of. Okay? Is everybody familiar with the chakras?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of cross-reference is fine, right? So if we look at the animal chakras from where we evolved, so your first story is survival. Okay, and this is equal to money. Because money for us translates into survival. Whether it is food, shelter, etc. gets linked to money. Root chakra story. Very much physics. Beyond this, you come to the sacral chakra, relationships. And when I talk of relationships here, predominantly intimacy. Not just love, because that's a metaphysical story. Intimacy is a physical story. Next, solar plexus, charge, control, territory. Physical story. Okay. All right. Now, beyond this, where you have love, self-esteem and communication, you have clarity at the third eye, and then you have oneness. All these are metaphysical. Because these are not tangible. There is no matter involved with any of these. Whether it is love, whether it is communication, whether it is your vision, or whether it is oneness, these are intangible. These are very tangible. Okay? Now, all along, life after life, whenever you have created imbalances, they have been in one of these areas or multiple of these areas. And every time you died, what unresolved mess you left here, you conveniently carried forward as karma, and that became your destiny, and you went on into the same cycle. As the man or as human on earth, when you discovered that the power of the divine is also within you, okay, then people started using that power to heal the imbalanced stories. So now the understanding was that it is possible to close a karmic debt through wisdom, awareness and healing. Okay? That happens very easily here. So for all those of you who came into this awareness with a core problem which was in this area, have more or less stabilized and are fine. But for all of you where the presenting problem was in this area, are the ones who are still groping for an answer. Any spiritual course